Ahoy hoy, I'm Planet Walk, and one of the big conspiracies that has been going around recently is the whole coronavirus and 5G conspiracy theory. But it's gone too far, so stop it.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your parents?
Now by now, most people have probably heard of the vandalism of the towers used for 5G.
Used for 4G.
Oh, my bad. Thanks, Jacinda. So yes, some of the towers that are being vandalised aren't exactly 5G towers, although they're being vandalised because of this conspiracy about 5G. They're vandalising 3G towers and vandalising 4G towers. In fact, there was a vandalism up north in New Zealand, which was of a 4G tower. So at the risk of getting this video demonetized, I have a very special message for people that think that it's okay to set fire to telecommunications towers, or to rip cables out of the ground, or to even hurl abuse at telecommunications workers. Fuck you, you pieces of shit! Now whilst I personally haven't been affected by any of this stuff, I don't like the fact that it's happening, especially at this point in time. Because first off, there are a lot of people at home at the moment, and a lot of them will be trying to access things like entertainment, and that puts a lot of strain on the networks as it is. And destroying telecommunications equipment will only add more strain to the network and make things worse for everyone. And secondly, we're in the middle of a goddamn pandemic. Stay at home and don't put people at risk. There is also that minor issue that destruction of property, whether it be public or private, is, highly illegal. There's also the fact that if I were a telecommunications worker at this point in time, I wouldn't exactly want to be around other people, let alone someone that is unvaccinated and just there to harass me. But the interesting thing about this is that it doesn't seem that these people are targeting 5G. It's like they don't know what 5G is and just assume that everything that's related to the internet is 5G. And the reason for this is because most of the towers that are being vandalised aren't actually 5G towers, and there's also been people that are pulling fibre optic cables out of the ground because somehow that's related to 5G. And the only reason I know about it is because there was someone that told me about it, so I suspect that it's more than just a once-off occurrence. So because of this, I want to see if we can get something like hashtag 5GNutters trending. I know that it's unlikely due to my channel size, but if enough of you share this video, then we might just be able to pull it off. And the reason why I want to get this hashtag trending is because I really want to showcase the damage that these morons are doing. If you've been harassed by these morons, if you've had wires pulled out of the ground because they think that somehow 5G is traveling through the fibre optic cables, post it with the hashtag 5GNutters. What I'm thinking is that if people see the damage that this is causing, then they'll realise that these 5G conspiracy theories shouldn't be taken seriously. So to get everyone started, here's some pictures of graffiti left by people who are ripping out fibre optic cables. As you can see, it reads like the ramblings of crazy people. Probably because they are crazy people. And when it comes to the claims that this graffiti is making, I can very easily debunk this. It's not hard. For example, 5G is not a virus because 5G and viruses are two completely different kinds of things. And then there is the claim that 5G will kill you or control you. This is simply not true because 5G does not have the power output to cause any damage to humans, and 5G cannot penetrate through your skin as well. Now one of them is correct. Coronavirus is no longer considered a high consequence infectious disease, but that's just simply because it has a low mortality rate. That doesn't mean that coronavirus is not harmful, because it is harmful, and it doesn't change the fact that we are going through what is currently the worst pandemic of the 21st century. But the most interesting one to me is the one that says we still had net before they wired all the blocks. And if I had to guess, that's probably because they were using this thing called copper rather than fibre optics. I mean, what do they think was supplying the internet before then? I mean, it could have been satellite, but apart from that, telepathy? Now I get it, I don't expect scribblings on a wall to have anything of substance. But a lot of these people that are peddling this 5G conspiracy theory are using the same type of arguments. Even when these contradict each other, like COVID-19 isn't that bad, but at the same time, the 5G is causing coronavirus, which is really bad. Although at this point, I don't really expect conspiracy theorists to have a single narrative. You know, I've argued with flat earthers for long enough to know that usually they don't have just one. But another thing that doesn't surprise me at all is that nothing has really changed. If you look at this image here, you'll see that conspiracy theories like this have been around for ages, but electricity hasn't killed us all. There's also the fact that people have been saying that RFID chips will be mandatory for everyone for ages now, yet that hasn't come to fruition either. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to get through this coronavirus thing. Yes, it may take a while, and yes, the outcome may be far from perfect. And then everyone will forget about 5G. And then 6G will roll around and conspiracies will start again. Now there's other examples as well, like Agenda 21, which conspiracy theorists will tell you is a massive depopulation agenda that was drafted up, 30 years ago? Now, I might be wrong here, but I don't think that there has been a decrease in population over the last 30 years. But now we've got Agenda 2030, which is what conspiracy theorists will now point to as the depopulation agenda. So the moral of the story here is that these kinds of conspiracy theories have been going on for ages. If you're one of these people that goes out and harasses a telecommunications worker, you're no better than a flat earther that goes out and harasses a NASA employee. If you're writing graffiti to spread anti-5G propaganda, then you're no better than a flat earther who walks into a store and writes fake all over a globe to spread flat earth propaganda. And if you're one of the people that are setting fire to cell towers, you should be tried for arson. But that's it from me today. Remember to share this video and try to get hashtag 5G nutters trending so that we can show what kind of damage these nutters really are doing. As always, a big shout out to my $20 or more patrons. What Jesus, Holmes, Hugh Jarsz, M.C.Nutkin, Wolfie, Stringer News 1, Ashpanash, Reynolds, Curvy New Yorker, Syssiphus, and Morrie. If you want to support me financially, you can do so on Patreon, there will be a link in the description. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, here's a message from Jacinda.
To dignify it with a response, the 5G, the whack 5G conspiracy the other day. But given that people are now destroying telecommunications towers, what message would
Used
you like?
for 4G.
What message would you like to send to those who are promulgating that conspiracy theory?
Don't.
Dr.
Question. Maybe I'll just leave it to the facial expressions of Dr. Bloomfield.